Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us today for our digital transformation series with IBM. I'm Chris Favre.
I'm Gary Cohen.
We're both with Control Engineering. In this video series, we'll be discussing many topics about digital transformation in manufacturing with IBM experts Surya, Vamsi, Miriyala, and Brett Hillhouse. Brett is the global automotive and aerospace leader for IBM Sustainability Software. His responsibility includes industry and technology strategy, as well as customer success for automotive companies around the world. His 25 plus years of industry experience includes transformation engagements at global automotive and aerospace OEMs and tier 1 suppliers. Surya is a go-to-market product manager for IBM Maximo with more than 7 years of experience in manufacturing, particularly within the automotive and food and beverage sectors. He spearheaded digital transformation projects for leading firms such as Caterpillar and Coca-Cola, and has utilized IoT software such as PTC ThingWorks and IBM Maximo to advance connected factories, energy management, and predictive maintenance initiatives. We'll be talking about organizational maturity and challenges manufacturers face when it comes to digital transformation, how they can overcome them. So we'll start off with this. In your opinion, what factors contribute to some organizations achieving higher levels of digital transformation maturity compared to others? What's their secret?
I think one thing is to get out there and start trying things. There's too much, problems with that inertia I had mentioned earlier in another video is so true. And it just means trying something, and if it doesn't work, go on to the next one. It's doing smaller proof of concepts, trying out some things, figuring out what's going to work within your organization. So instead of having to take everything at once, starting in small steps is the way that I see people moving much faster than other organizations that are trying to do it all as a big bang approach.
Yes, I completely agree with what Brett said on trying out the POCs. That is a first baby step that you take. So when you want to actually scale it up, you actually need some key things that had to fall in place. For example, you take the leadership alignment and commitment, where you need that top-down approach and articulating the strategy and vision to the employees so that they actually adopt to the new ways of working. As Brett said, the change management is a pretty sensitive piece, and the organization has to be adaptive to readiness to change. So not only the workforce, I would say, but also your ITOT and the assets should be matured enough to adopt to these digital transformations and embrace the industry 4.0. So change man. Yep.
And I think one thing that I've seen that really helps is making sure everybody is fighting for the same KPIs. Because once those are well defined and understood, I just see it brings the organization together better. But that also means that some of those incentives have to be aligned to the KPIs. And that is sometimes an issue with the workers on the floor. So KPIs got to be the right set, they've got to be well understood, but they've also got to have incentives that are in alignment.
Yes, incentivizing KPIs is the one best option to consider. And apart from that, you also have to inbuild that data-driven culture, because once you adopt the digital transformation, you get lots of data. People has to know what has to be done with the data. You cannot just keep it in the form of dashboards without driving any actions. So that data-driven decision-making mindset is something which we have to incorporate to actually realize the benefit out of this, the theme that we are talking about.
So it's hard to have a conversation with anybody in manufacturing without them mentioning the skills shortage. It's obviously a big issue in the industry. How do you assess the need for digital skills within your workforce, or how should companies assess the need for digital skills?
Why don't you take that one first, Surya?
Yep. So some of the ways, imagine if I am a production manager or a maintenance or a factory manager in my shop floor, what I would actually do to upskill my workforce to adopt to this new ways of working. Because in the current skill level, I'm definitely sure that there will be a resistance to change. People actually don't see the value. They are very comfortable in doing their activities in their own comfortable way. So in order to have that paradigm shift from their regular ways of working to the new ways of working, skill gap analysis is one powerful tool. So you can actually do a skill gap analysis, assign your workforce into L1, L2, L3. Imagine L3 is the topmost level. So you can actually incentivize your operator when they move from L1 to L2 or L2 to L3. So you can actually fix the bands or something like that in their payroll, which we have actually done in the past. So this is one powerful tool, skill gap analysis. Apart from that, you can actually do surveys and assessments to actually understand the mindset of your workforce and how good they are to embrace the change.
And I think there's a specific issue that you have at the SMB, the small and medium business when doing so. It's often that you're not going to be able to skill up your whole workforce. So it is a subset of workers. It's a subset of the supervisors are the ones who are going to have those digital skills. You can afford to get those folks trained and up on these skills. And so just thinking about it a little differently, I think, as you go down from the really large organizations that can afford to skill up everybody to, some of the SMBs, I think you got to think of it a little differently.
Yeah, I completely agree to that. One powerful, tool that SMBs can specifically use is keep reinstating the benefits of digital transformation in their daily process improvement dialogues. So before the start of the shift, in any manufacturing organization, they discuss on four key parameters: people, quality, velocity, and cost. So in that everyday stand-ups or process improvement dialogues, you can keep emphasizing on what's gonna come, how are we gonna embrace that, how are we gonna build on that, and what is the benefit at the end of the day that they actually realize, and how easy it is for them to perform their day-to-day jobs. And yeah, this is one thing which I believe can be really powerful to adopt in an SMB.
It's not just, hiring, talent that's, skilled in digital technology. It's also about retaining them. And I know that's been a challenge in some of the surveys we've done, and I'm sure you've seen the same thing. Why do you think that is? Why is it so hard for, to retain that talent, for people who are skilled in the digital technologies and digital transformation?
Yeah, some of the factors, sorry, Brett, you can go first.
So I mean, one thing is it's not as sexy as maybe some other areas in the engineering world. It is something that you need to train for. I don't think it's always about pulling in new talent that understands all this, but getting the grassroots folks up to speed enough to be able to do this is a great way to do it. So it's doing it in-house, I think, is often the word. Some of the larger organizations can afford to really, go out there and find talent coming out of school, coming out of college, or coming out of the trade schools. But it's harder, I think, at the SMB level. Once again, it's about doing things in-house, I think, and really treating those people well that are being upskilled the way Surya said, different levels of pay based upon it. Those are the different things you got to start looking for.
Yeah, apart from that, you can also adopt an approach called bottom-up approach. So you form a group in your organization. For example, we take an SMB, form a bunch of people, give them the freedom of trying out different technologies. So you can give them an asset, a problematic asset, ask them to do a POC, let them come up with their own ideas. They can mount a PLC or integrate it with a controller, bring the data, do some insights. And, when you promote that bottom-up approach, it will actually empower your people within your organization that I'm getting an opportunity to utilize within my interest uh, to contribute in the digital space. So that is where they actually build that passion towards digital transformation. And when they keep trying different technologies through this bottom up approach, they'll definitely try to stick and innovate more and more to contribute to the efficiency of the existing operations.
I definitely see that even in the bigger organizations. It's part of those POCs and trying stuff, right?
Yes. Instrumentation, electronics and instrumentation department is where, you have this bunch of folks. They actually keep trying innovative things locally, hyper local made solutions, they call it within the manufacturing organization.
Great information. Surya, Brett, thank you so much for being with us today and spending so much time and offering your insights.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys.
If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel, Control Eng TV, which has additional interviews with thought leaders and experts. You can also find a link to our control engineering website for additional content. I am Gary Cohen.
Chris Favreau.
Thanks so much for watching.